2004 Renault Megane. This is the Renault Sport 225, so it's the 225 brake horsepower, 2-litre twin turbo car. As you can see, it's a 3-door model, which is far more desirable than the 5 doors. Finished in this lovely metallic blue. It isn't a Cup or an F1 or anything like that. It's your standard 225. So it's got the half leather seats and a few creature comforts rather than the sort of stripped out bare bones car. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. If we start on this front driver's wing, that's all nice and clean. The arch is nice and tidy. It's got the correct alloy wheels on it. In the 18-inch ones, it hasn't had a set of aftermarkets put on it. And it's got some good tyres on it. Loads of tread left on those. Going down the driver's side, there's no marks or anything on the wing mirror. It's nice and clean going down there. Got a very small scratch just here. Very tiny. But other than that, nice and clean. And you've got a couple of little stone chips on the leading edge of the door there. And a few more where the sort of back end sticks out a bit on the arch. But other than that, nice and tidy down there. All the glass is nice and clear. Look at the roof from here as well. You can see nice and straight. It's not full of ripples or dents. There's a couple of little scratches here and there, but it's an 18-year-old car now. We're going to expect that, aren't we? Another good wheel and tyre there. They're nice and clean. They're not covered in curb marks. All the centre caps are there. It's always a good sign. Round up the back, both tail lights nice and bright. No cracking or any sign of any moisture or anything in those. Bumper corners on both sides. Nice and tidy. I've got a very faint scratch there. Be very surprised if I didn't polish out. And you've got a tiny little bit of lacquer peel around this section between the number plate and the exhaust. But other than that, on the back, all nice and tidy. The correct Renault Sport badging. It's not got a load of silly other badges or anything like that. Exhaust sits nice and straight. Quite often they sit wonky on one side, but that one's all good. Round up to this side again. If you look down this side, nice and straight, nice and clean in this arch. Another good wheel and tyre. This large pillar on the back's all nice and tidy. The glass on this side is nice and clear as well. Now this window, when the car came to us, it was sitting about 2 inches down. And it's not working on either switch, so you've got to presume at this point, worst case scenario, it's the motor. So we've pinned the window up just so we can store the car properly without it getting damaged. But do take that into account. Like I say, it is propped up. It's watertight and all that. But this switch on this side doesn't do anything. Switch on the other side doesn't do anything. Odds are it's going to be the motor if both switches aren't doing the job. It's obviously worth factoring that in. A little bit of a scuff on this little rub strip here, and a mark where it's been opened on something there. No, there's no dents or anything in either side. Nice and straight, but on both sides. This front arch nice and clean. You've got a little bit of marking in the paint just there. Another good wheel and tyre. There's no curb marks on any of the wheels, which is a really nice sign. No marks on the wing mirror or anything like that. Round on the front, both headlights nice and clear. Fog lights are good. The lower half of the bumper, quite often they get sort of damaged and scuffed and stuff, but as you can see, this one's nice and tidy. Again, the bonnet nice and straight. You've got one little faint scratch just here, but it's pretty good generally. It's not covered in ripples or stone chips. You've got a stone chip just there. On the interior, and again, being the standard 225, it's got the half leather interior like I mentioned earlier on. Driver's seat's got a little bit of wear on the bolster there. A little bit there, but both bolsters are nice and firm. They've not sagged or sort of collapsed or anything like that. The cloth section's nice and clean and tidy. Carpet set's nice and dark. Into the rear bench. Again, I don't think that's had much use because that's lovely and clean in there. Really, really good. Headlining's all tidy. It's got a little sag in the back passenger corner, which you can just see there. Tiny one, but it is only just coming away ever so slightly. Steering wheel, a little bit of wear on it, but nothing major. Obviously, being the standard car, you've got the steering wheel controls. Oh, horn works, there you go. And it does have the aircon as well. It has an aftermarket JVC stereo. If you check the description, we'll detail what we know as far as sort of service history goes, where the car's been, all that sort of stuff. Trying to open the bonnet, but it's on the other side. That's a bit pointless, isn't it? And these things are starting to go up quite steadily in value. If you look at the slightly later R26, it's a good one of those is over £10,000 now. Nice and clean in the boot. I did notice that the little clips that sit in these are going to be really picky are missing, so the parcel shelf doesn't lift up with the boot lid. Again, that's a relatively easy fix. There's no spare wheel in these, but you do get the tyre saver. All nice and clean in there. There's no sign of any moisture anywhere. It's got no nasty smells. Obviously not been smoked in or had dogs or anything like that. Passenger seat, nice and clean down there. No sign of any real wear at all. The bolsters are good. Could do with a good hoover out, but other than that, all nice and tidy. Could be a really big actually. There's a very small ding there from a stone or something, I think. Just have to excuse some dodgy camera work. We'll get this bonnet pulled up. Yeah, the seal that's coming along the back could do with being put back on properly. We'll have an attempt at tidying that up. Other than that, pretty standard looking thing. I've driven it briefly. You know, boosts properly, the gearbox feels all right. No sign of any fluid flying out the bottom or anything like that. We'll start it up. So obviously on these you've got the key card to start it up. Push the key into the little slot down below. Foot on the clutch. Hit the button. And again, it's going to tell us oil level's all right. Got a warning light on for the handbrake, which I can turn off by turning the handbrake off. 88,758 miles. No other warning lights on, no engine management lights or anything like that. If we go around the back, see nice and clear. It's not piling any smoke out the back or anything like that. So there you have it. 2004 Renault Megane Renault Sport 225. If you've got any questions, please let us know. Thank you.